Welcome back to the Dark Mirror Podcast. I'm Hayden.
And I'm Luke!
So, Dark Mirror Inc. has received some budget cuts, and
now, Hax is just gone. He's dead.
we
That's the cover-up.
we couldn't afford to keep Hax, so now we got Luke Ook this week.
Well, I mean, like, only for this week. I am very... I have a very low cost, and then you'll be able to save up enough for Hax. He has a higher price than me.
Surprise!
So, Hayden, what are we reading today?
Don't be fake. Well,
Hayden, what are we reading today?
considering this is my birthday week, we decided to do 2 creepypastas this week, which honestly isn't really that big of a deal. We do 2 creepypastas a lot, but these 2 creepypastas, well, one of them was actually made by me, and that's the one I'll be reading, but the one Luke will be reading is one that I kept saying, not because it's good, but just because it's so fucking ridiculous that I just want to have it on the podcast. And that, my friends, is Stick Stickly, which is what we'll be reading first.
Stickly. So I looked this man up, and
What,
I just
Stick
noticed
Stickly?
that yeah, Stickly. I looked him up, and I just noticed he radiates cursed energy, mostly because he doesn't have eyebrows, and his red eyes just.
Thanks, Nickelodeon.
Thanks, Nickelodeon. Very nice.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, read whenever.
So, Stickly may be one of the least creative characters ever made.
Oh,
in
you take that back, you fucking bitch.
Never! But he still holds a very special place in the hearts of 90s children.
Wait, but I'm a
for
2000s kid, but he still holds a special place in my heart. What the fuck, Nickelodeon?
You've never seen him before this, you liar! For several years of hosting Nickelodeon in the afternoon. Most information on this popsicle stick says he hosted Nickelodeon's summer afternoon block from 1995 to 1998. But
Why the fuck did they choose a stick?
I don't know, man. It's probably because they just had a lot of them, and it's all like, hey, kids like them, right? Yeah.
Dan Schneider and Butch Hartman was probably high looking at a piece of, like, a popsicle stick to googly eyes, and they're just like, fuck it.
That's why his eyes are red. They were high. Okay, you know what, whatever. But it's okay, because I always swore that I remembered seeing him on TV, even earlier than that time period.
Now you're just adding words.
Yeah, well, you know, I like adding words. It adds my own classic spin on everything. Anyway, I thought I was crazy for quite a while, but I recently found a small fan site for Stick Stickly.
What's the
that
fucking
mentioned-
website?
I don't know, man. I was just here. Stickly mentioned him hosting a 1993 afternoon block during the school year called Afternoon Snack with Stickly. To my joy, the website even had videos of Stickly's segments. This is a tongue twister. Hayden, why would you force me to do this?
Aha!
You know what? It's okay. Because I watched one marked first ever Stickly Sticked appearance.
First ever Stickly appearance. It's not that hard.
You're gonna... How am I the one with the speech impediment now? I hate this. Mostly because Stickly was in front of a chalkboard with an afternoon snack written on it in normal writing. His design was a little different. His eyes were smaller, and he had no nose. His mouth was straight instead of curved into a smile. And he made a couple corny jokes. Then... It then said that Rugrats was coming on. I never watched that show. It's okay, though.
The fuck's a Rugrat?
I don't know, man. It's these weirdly animated babies.
Yeah, I know. I saw the show.
Why would you say this? I can't believe you've done this to yourself. Mostly because the video ended at that point. I watched the next one, and there was 6 of them. None of them had dates. but I can only assume that they were in chronological order. The second one was called Stick Gets Injured.
How the hell does a stick get injured?
You snap it in half. Maybe,
Shit,
I don't know.
You're right.
Haha, you see, they don't even have noses. They can't even smell the fear. Stickly had the same face from the first video, but his body seemed a little worn. There were a few splinters sticking out of his side. His full dialogue, as quoted. Well, the dog next door buried me. What?
I can't wait to be buried alive because Stickly told me to.
F in chat for him. Well, the dog next door buried me, but I managed to get it. The show you all voted to see. Hey, dude is up next, and don't forget to send in your postcards to vote for the special guest show for the special guest show you want to see. And remember that address is, I don't know, it just ends there.
Yeah. Okay, what the hell's Hey Dude? I have never heard of that Nickelodeon show.
I have never either, and that's why I stuttered doing that. Or maybe it's because I have the speech impairment. You see, I am the alpha male. You fool. Anyway, he sung the classic song about what? He sang the classic song about writing to him, but the tune was different than in later versions, much slower. After he sang the song, he just stood motionless for a few minutes before the video then ended. The third was called Hang Stick.
Yes! We finally get to hang him.
Yeah, let's go! Stickly was hanging in the air by a piece of string tied around his waist. Excuse me? A little boy who looked about 5 was also there, and the chalkboard had 6 dashes on it.
Don't let the stick near the child. He's a well-known pedophile.
Stick it to the man. Stick it to the boy. There were 6 dashes on it, and it was representing a 6-letter hangman word. The kid was guessing the letters, and each time he got one wrong, the string around Stick's waist would move higher. What is this? What? The game would be over when it reached Stick's neck in quotation marks. Huh. Thanks, Nickelodeon. Very nice.
Yeah.
The kid kept guessing letters, and when the rope was one incorrect guess from Stick's neck. The letters filled were C blank N D E L.
I would like to finish the puzzle. Just turns into
Kundo. It was obvious what the word was, but the kid wasn't taking the game very seriously. Giggling, he guessed X.
He fucking killed him. The 5-year-old was just an assassin, just trying to kill Stickly because he knew too much.
He knew that he was going to be touched in places. He then killed him with the rope. The rope moved to Stick's neck, and his eyes flashed out of existence and replaced by 2 X's. There was no sound for about 30 seconds, and the kid stared at Stick's body. Then Stick's eyes flashed back to the normal.
No. Beforehand,
what?
And the kid must have thought he actually killed the stick.
Do you ever just kill a stick? Hayden? Do you ever just do that?
Everyone's
anyway.
dead.
So his eyes flashed back to normal, and he laughed. He said he was fine, and that the wild and crazy kid was what?
What?
Wild and crazy.
That is not a show. That can't be a show.
Hey, excuse me, but Hey Dudes is a pretty good show.
I am getting a FaceTime from my mom.
Oh. This is the part where we do editing or laugh about Hayden's lack of editing if you see this in the YouTube part.
You keep reading.
Fair enough. The 4th video was called Stick Quits. Stick was ranting about something that presumptuously happened in a segment the site didn't have a video of, saying no one respected him, that he was treated like a toothpick.
He is a fucking stick, though.
Yeah, well, he's not treated. He's not a toothpick.
Sick lives
It's
matter.
a stick.
Stick lives matter.
Stick lives matter. You should know this. He was treated like a toothpick, and how his father was a mighty ship. What? And complaining about how the dog buried him. Huh. The complaints seemed like...
No, how the dog kept burying him. It's not it wasn't just a one-time occurrence. Just during the shows, the dog would just come back and grab him by...
It was his fetish.
Stick fetish.
It was fetish. The complaints seemed like jokes, but his tone was more serious than you expect. A little kid appeared, not the same as in the other video, and he told the stick that all the children loved him. The stick was silent for a while, and then sighed. He would then say that he reminded us to vote in the guest show contest, and it would be for the Rugrats. Time for Rugrats. Time for babies.
No. Oh, the ending is just kind of game jacking, and that's pretty BS.
What's wrong with game jacking, my dude?
Game jacking is when you're not a part of a creepypasta or a different story, but you make it so that you're in the same world as that story.
Ah, where have I heard that? Wow! The 5th video was marked Stick Gets Mad. No sound. Like the description said, it was silent. Stick was moving very quietly with body language.
Quickly, very quickly. He's not moving very quietly. He's a stick. He doesn't make a noise. He's moving very quickly.
Exactly, he's moving very quietly. And
there's no sound.
Exactly! His body language was indicating he was yelling, but no one could hear. A little girl was cowering from him, clearly afraid. The girl eventually left, and Stick just faced the screen. His animation was so simple that Animation? Excuse me. What? Popsicle stick animation?
The mouth.
Excuse me?
I mean, with that, you can obviously tell that they were trying to imply that he was cussing.
Well, his animation was very simple, so fair enough. Now, I couldn't tell if he was talking. Mouth think. You ever just mouth think a popsicle? I don't know, but it's fine, because the 6th episode was called The Winner Revealed.
Yay!
The winner revealed. Ooh. The stick had a dark red stain on the... Excuse me. He had a dark red stain on the top of his head, and one of his eyes was an... Excuse me, where did this show head?
It's Nickelodeon.
This is... I mean, like, this is a creepypasta, so what should I expect? The stick made no mention of his appearance and announced that the votes were in. It was time for a special guest show to air. And his last bit of dialogue as stated. It's been a long contest and the vote was close, but you, the kids, have decided, coming right now, the classic you voted for, Candle Cove.
And that's where the bullshit comes in.
Huh.
Candle Cove is not... A.L. Simpson to work with.
Oh, what?
Plus, it's not it's not Nickelodeon.
It's not even Nickelodeon.
It's not even.
How could they?
It's like the time where Disney XD.
They did what? Okay.
And they chose one all about Satan, but they had to remove all mention of hell, and at one point Rose was supposed to say welcome to hell, but Disney XD censored it to welcome, and then the doctor just said, well, it's not that bad.
Welcome. No, it's not that bad. Well, let's see, there were some pretty good shows mentioned. There was Hey Dude, as well as uh, what was the other one? It was like the Wild and Crazy Kids, as well as Candle Cove. These are some pretty amazing shows, I must say.
Yeah, I think it was okay until the Candle Cove. That's where I just really think this is bad.
I mean, like, it was kind of...
He definitely didn't get any permission from no creator to... He definitely didn't get permission to use Candle Cove at the end. Plus, Candle Cove's just fucking static. How the hell would Nickelodeon be able to play Candle Cove?
Huh. I don't know. Who knows? Do you know? Who knows?
January 15, I commented it on this saying it was really good until Candle Cove.
It was really
I'm pretty sure
I'm gonna look for it. There you are! Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was I was procrastinating writing the 3rd episode of Doctor Who.
The viewers here have no idea what we're talking about. But that's okay. Huh. I don't know, it does... Wait.
I mean, I would give it a 4 out of 10. I kept typing it up because I just found it funny that there was a creepypasta based off of a fucking stick. But, I mean, reading it just seems, I
mean, like, you could enjoy it ironically, but if you're actually gonna take this seriously, it's hard to take a popsicle stick, like...
Pop... It's not like you're gonna have nightmares based off of a fucking popsicle.
What do you mean? These red eyes, that yellow nose, that mild wide stare? That's terrifying, my dude.
That length that sort of never ends. But
so wait, what's the...
Anyway, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
Honestly, I liked it, but like ironically, so
yeah,
a solid 4.5 out of 10. It's at 5.
Yeah. And now we're going on to the puppet shop. I know it says Marionettes on the title sequence, Luke, but the actual name I want to go for is the puppet shop. Miss Fanning just wouldn't let me. So the
Who's
puppet
Miss
shop.
Fanning, Hayden?
My creative writing teacher.
Marionettes.
So the puppet shop was a creepypasta that I made during creative writing as my final. And it's gonna be in the next ballpoint, so
I'm gonna delete all of this. It'll be funny, I swear. No, you deleted my statement. How could you? This is a Google Doc. Why would you do this?
This is a podcast.
This is also a Google Doc.
But anyway, I'm gonna start reading this. It's about 3 pages, or 2.5 if you want to be precise.
No, it's 3. 3.
She wouldn't let me use blood.
Well, I mean, like,
in this.
Like, well, I mean, like, you had to have been like, no, you were probably. I mean, like, you were 13, so man.
I was 15.
Not even so we're just gonna say 12.
No, I was 15. I made it this year.
Exactly, you were 11. Hey,
okay.
Hey, Hayden.
What?
We're running out of gas.
Okay, let's start this. I'm gonna start reading this. We're running out of gas. Felix and his sister Naomi are on a trip to Key West, Florida for vacation. Why did I choose Key West? I have a feeling I just said give me a random location and it just took me to Key West, Florida.
I'm gonna look it up. Keep reading. I'm gonna figure this out.
It was, to many, a normal day. The sky was a beautiful orange gradient, and the sun was slowly setting behind them. There looked like there wouldn't be a town for miles, so their gas problem was rather unfortunate. Well, we won't be able to make it anywhere, so we're gonna need to get it towed, Felix says. Well, let's just get as far as we can, I guess, Naomi said. Felix kept driving for a few more minutes until out of the middle of nowhere there was the shop. The outside looked dusty and old, as if it were abandoned. But
Okay,
there was
Hayden, I
Yeah?
see a so I looked up Key West, Florida. It's like a city. You're describing it as if it's like in the middle of nowhere, a desert, but like it's a city.
no, the shop is in the middle of nowhere.
Oh. It's based off. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Felix kept driving for a few more minutes until out in the middle of nowhere there was this shop. The outside looked dusty and old, as if it were abandoned, but there were signs that said it was open. It's best to go there to travel far, than to travel farther and call for a tow truck, Naomi said. Yeah, I guess you're right, Felix replied. Felix parked the car at the side of the road and walked into the shop. The inside was even dustier than the outside. It was full of old, creepy marionettes.
That's where the name comes from. Hayden!
Like ones you would see in a horror movie. The floor was... The floor was this old, uncomfortable-looking rug that was stiff as a rock.
That's wood. Never mind.
And there seemed to be nobody else there. Felix slowly made his way to the front counter of the shop and rang the bell. There was silence for a bit before an old man walked out from behind a doorway. He wore a black suit with a red bow tie. He looked about 80 years old, and like he hasn't left the shop since he was born. How the hell would you be able to notice that?
I don't know. Maybe there's cobwebs all over to him. He's stuck to the counter.
Hello. It's always nice to meet new faces, the old man said. He had a grin that sent shivers down Naomi's spine. Hi, we're just passing by and we ran out of gas. Is it alright if we stay here for a while until a tow truck comes? Felix asked. Of course. I'm always delighted by new faces, he said.
You know, that's a solid red flag. He's not noticing them as people and as faces.
I can tell this wasn't accepted onto. I can tell why this wasn't accepted onto creepypasta.com. Thank you, sir. What's your name? You can call me Mr. Yates. All right. A pleasure to meet you. Mr. Yates nodded and went back to the back of the shop, leaving Felix and Naomi alone to roam. Naomi got on her phone and tried to call the tow company. The tow company, not a tow company. The tow company.
The tow company.
No service. Great, she said. Well, we'll go to a place with service tomorrow. It's getting late. We may as well stay the night here, said Felix. Where the hell would they be sleeping? In a fucking puppet shop.
In their car. Where they can lock the doors and close the windows. It'll be very warm, but that's fine.
As Felix walked more and more around the shop, he couldn't help but admire the craftsmanship of the marionettes.
You said it again.
They were detailed down to the different strands of hair. They were uncanny. As Felix looked around, Naomi decided to look in the back of the shop instead, thinking it couldn't be more creepy than the marionettes in the front. When she walked through a door that led to the back of the shop, it was more unsettling than the front. It was filled to the brim with more marionettes, all with flaws in them. Some were disproportionate, with one leg that was smaller than the other, or a head that was too small. Sorry, I just need to fix that part.
Hey, Dad! How could
What?
you ruin a masterpiece? Put it back! Stop editing the Google Doc, how could you?
Some had some painting problems, like the eyes were pitch black, or the wrong color was used somewhere. But they all had one thing in common. Each one of them had red paint across their eyes, making an X.
This popsicle stick, oh my god! You were inspired, oh my god!
I think I made this right. Yeah, I made this 2 days before I read Stickly, so
Well,
take that.
yeah, this was made by your future. You edited it in post.
But each one of them had red paint across their eyes. That was where it was supposed to be. I was supposed to say presumably red paint, like implying it was blood, but she wouldn't let me.
Each of them had blood across their eyes. They were blind because of blood.
Naomi wanted to leave but for some reason her body stumbled forward. She didn't know what else was in the back, and she didn't want to know. So how come her body kept moving? It was almost as if it were controlled by someone else entirely.
It's like she's a puppet. Oh my god.
What do you mean she's a boppet?
She's a puppet, but boppet. Oh my god, she's a boppet. Boppet. Twist it.
She felt that the marionettes were watching her. As the farther she walked down the corridor, the eerier the marionettes looked. They went from having claws to becoming devilish-looking puppets that would frighten anyone. The corridor seemed to stretch longer than the building as she kept walking. Soon enough, though, she reached a door. The only door she had seen ever since she entered the corridor.
Pull it.
She didn't want to open the door, but she did.
Push it!
Inside was Mr. Yates, playing with two marionettes.
Oh, I'm gonna predict this. The marionettes are them.
Yeah.
I knew it! I'm the best! Wait, is it? Are you just saying that?
No, that's actually them.
I'm amazing. I am a god.
I just finished these two today, he said, chuckling. Naomi couldn't move. She just looked at the old man as he showed her the two marionettes. The first one looked exactly like Felix. The other looked exactly like Naomi. She wanted to say something, but she couldn't. It felt like something was revoking her ability to speak. Well, let's see how I did this time, shall we? Mr. Yates asked. He moved the right arm of Naomi's marionette up, and at the same moment, Naomi's right arm shot up. Mr. Yates grinned. Perfect. You will be perfect, he said cheerfully. He moved over to a dollhouse that was an exact recreation of the puppet shop. Long corridor and all. He made Naomi's marionette walk to a different room, which...
Wait. It's not a puppet. It's a marionette. No, not even a marionette. It's something better. It's a voodoo puppet. Oh my god.
Which Naomi did as well. The room was dark, musty, and groggy. It reminded her of a cellar. Inside the room was a tube. Mr. Yates made Naomi's marionette walk inside the tube, and thus Naomi did the same. The tube closed, and red smoke surrounded her body. She struggled to move, but ultimately couldn't. The smoke made her lose her vision, and suddenly, everything went black. When her vision came back, everything seemed so big. She could move only her eyes. But that was enough to tell her what was going on. She saw the shelves of the store filled with marionettes, but all the marionettes seemed so big now. She looked next to her, and there was Felix's marionette, sitting beside her on a shelf. She was looking through the eyes of her marionette duplicate, forced to sit here for all eternity. And that was when she noticed two more people, a boy and a girl, enter the shop. And they were greeted by Mr. Yates. She was powerless as she saw the kids follow him to the back.
And it happens again! Ah! Oh dear.
Okay.
Good job, Hayden.
Okay, I mean, I was pretty proud of it at the time because this was and probably still is the best thing I've ever written. But saying that, it's still crap.
I mean, I wasn't able to predict.
Yeah, I could tell why it wasn't put on to the Creepypasta Wiki or creepypasta.com because it just isn't that good of a story. I mean, I do want to make a creepypasta and put it onto there, but it's gonna take a while to actually do it.
One day you will. It'll be
for
a good
now,
day when that happens.
I mean, it was a good starter run, I think.
Yeah.
I would give it a 5 out of 10. It was average.
Probably.
There's not much I can say, but I was confined to the restraints of a freshman year creative writing class.
Yeah.
the inside jokes were the Yo-Yo Man, Danny DeVito,
The
and
Yo-Yo.
Ronald McDonald.
The M&M's man. For my rating, I would. Well, I mean, like I guessed one of the major thing, but it wasn't too major. I don't know. That's like a solid half point off,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
4.5 out of 10.
I would say it's too short as well. There needs to be more substance to it if I were to make this better.
I'd say it's nice. It's a short and sweet. It's a short and sweet crappy story.
Yeah.
Short and sweet story. The SSS.
I need to do better grammar wise. I need a better reason as to what I need a better reason as to why Mr. like I need to actually say what the tube actually was. You know, the tube that just forced her inside the marionette body.
Huh. I thought it was like going to be some kind of capsule that there was a back room of capsules with a bunch of humans, but like, is that what you were?
No,
No,
it's
okay.
something. It was something that when the red smoke comes, it would put her soul into the marionette as the body just disappears.
Oh my god. Well, like the uncanny parts of the marionettes started showing up, all I could like be remembered, all that pops into my mind were like these teddy bears, but with real human teeth. Those
Oh,
things,
those
like,
ones?
Yeah, you know those. I mean, like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw them in person before.
you did? Huh. Wow.
I'm pretty sure I saw them in stores.
I remember reading a newspaper once because I read newspapers, and I saw this dentist thing, and it was going to make children less scared of going to the dentist because they were able to
A teddy
brush,
bear with human teeth.
Yeah, they were able to brush their teddy bear's teeth, and it's all like, this isn't so bad, but
I'm pretty sure that would make them more frightened.
yeah, it did. And the worst part about it, it had eyes, and it was it had a mild wide stare. It looked dead into your soul as you just brushed its teeth. It was scary.
Was that what you were thinking was happening with the marionettes?
No, well, until you like said it's like, oh, they have like misjointed limbs and stuff. So like, I just thought of teddy bears with teeth.
I'm pretty sure I do need to go into more details on like the marionettes in the back, like how, like as they got more messed up. I think I need to specify how they were more messed up to like fully immerse someone into that.
This entire half of the podcast will be dedicating to criticizing Hayden.
Well, I mean, like I said, I rated it a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Average.
Yeah, it's an average, but still not good enough to pass creepypasta standards nowadays.
Oh wait, we need to get Hax's rating.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Fine. Then.
But anyways, this was Hayden's birthday edition of the Dark Matter podcast. I'm Hayden.
And I'm Luke.
Good night.
No!